Hello, everybody. This is Stephanie and Chelsea, and we are the co-founders of CS Planners. And today we are talking about perseverance.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people when they start their new years, a lot of people do set goals and intentions. And usually around this time of year, people start to forget about them. And that's the same thing with business. Sometimes you have a business idea, you keep going, and you're not getting the results that you want or that you're hoping for. But we're here to tell you don't give up. And there's multiple ways and reasons as to why. So I like the example for your husband, Steph, of, he was feeling lost, didn't really know what to do. And he had a strategy that really helped him. So do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so he was feeling lost for a little while, and with his mindset, he's a mindset coach. That's where he originally started, and he was feeling a little bit lost and not sure where to go. And then all of a sudden, overnight, this is how fast things can change, which is why you should never give up. But literally, like, he woke up one morning and he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna add as like a mind and body coach, right? So having both, combining both of his passions, because I feel like a lot of people forget this, and I feel like it's such an important message to talk about. Is people often have like two categories: their business category and their fun category. That's almost like what they divided. Like, and I did this at first too. Like, okay, I'm at work. Okay, now it's my fun time. What happens if you combine the two? You combine work and fun, right? So you should be creating something that you absolutely love to do. So, and when I remember having this conversation with my husband, and he's like, yeah, I'm like, what do you love to do? I'm like, if you're feeling lost, you're focusing fitness as like you have incredible results. You apps, let's you talk about that nonstop. And then he realized, I think I'm going to combine the two. So what he already likes doing, which is the mindset, and adding the body into it too. So like mind and body coach. And since then, since he's decided that, he's had overnight success. His sales have increased. He's had a mentor that reached out to him to say, you know what, I want to mentor you for free. He's had so many incredible opportunities, like radio shows that people have been reaching out to be like, hey, I want you on my radio show now. I want you to be on my podcast interviews, like so many different things. Like, it's crazy, but it all happens like overnight. And that's why, like, if you were to give up at that point when you feel lost, then you would never have reached that point, which I feel like is so important. Like, so many people, especially now at this time, especially with it being February, and here, it's cold and has like 4 feet of snow outside right now. I feel like often this is the time people often feel like giving up. But knowing, like, being an entrepreneur looks a lot like this. It's like a zigzag. You go, oh, I feel great. Okay, no, I don't. I feel great. And like, and then eventually you get to where you want to go, and you're like, aha, I knew I could do it. Like, this is it. I'm reaching where I am. But it does take a little bit of that zigzag in order to get to that high point that you do want.
And I feel like there's different ways as to why people kind of slow down in their business. So for that example, it's because, he knew that there was something missing, and it was just like, what am I missing? And going through that journey of trying to figure that out. But then once you find it, then that remotivates you. So I feel like in that example, it's so important for you to just keep trying new things. Think about what you do actually love and how can you incorporate what you do for fun into your life. So I feel like for that example, that is huge. Finding something to add and grow. Now, I have another example for myself. For me, I love everything that we're doing. I love the direction. I love what we actually do. But for me, sometimes you have a bad day or think, I had these big dreams and I'm not quite there yet. And then when you think about that, it's just, why, what am I doing wrong? And then once you get stuck in that, what am I doing wrong? That's when you start thinking that you're the reason why, you're the failure, it's not going to work. And that's a big struggle for a lot of people I've been talking to, being like, people saying, well, I want 6,000 or 6 digits a month, but I'm not getting that. So why am I even doing this? I should be failing. And I'm so thankful that I kind of did go through this because I can relate to people even more. And it's not the fact that you're dreaming too big. Sometimes for me, it's just reevaluating. You know, there's certain things in your life that are just kicking you down, and it's nothing to do with your business. It's other things that are going on in your life that you need to deal with first. And so if you're thinking about, do you love your business? Yes, then think about all the external factors that are bothering you. If it's something where you think about your business and you're thinking, I don't know, there's a little bit more that I feel like I'm missing, then focus on that. But what I love that we do have these two examples is that for me, I needed that day. So it's not anything where I don't believe in the business. It's just, I knew it was an internal thing, and I knew I was going through a variety of things that I personally needed to deal with on my own. But I also knew that for that decision, it was, I know that my business is my priority. So I gave myself that day to relax, focus on the things I needed to deal with and handle first. And then I decided last night, I was like, you know what? I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to make this happen. I dealt with all those negative things that I really need to focus on. And now I'm ready to keep moving forward. And I feel like that is a whole thing with perseverance, is figuring out what the issue is, dealing with it, and then move forward.
Exactly. And I feel like it's so important, especially in that example, to because it's okay to take time for yourself and give yourself a day. Because honestly, if you want to be more consistent, if you want to achieve those results that you like want, all your dreams, it means taking a day for yourself. It doesn't mean that you're, giving up on everything that you have, everything that you've built. It doesn't mean anything like that. It just means that you need a day just for you, because honestly, building a business is hard. It is tough. And I feel like if when you give yourself that downtime, then you're ready to achieve even bigger results. Because what happens is if you constantly burn yourself out, like consistently burnout, then all of a sudden it's like it'll just kind of built into like you'll just feel so frustrated and overwhelmed, and you'll be doubting yourself, and then almost like it's like this bubble that's like just ready to burst, right? Of just burnout, because burnout is not good. You're trying to build a business, but have fun while doing it. Ultimately, like it shouldn't, building a business is hard, yes, but it should not be like burnout. Oh, okay, I just need to burn myself out consistently in order to get to where I want. No, because you should be doing this because you love to do it. And it's okay if you love to do it and still need a break, because not enough people, I don't think they have enough balance between the two. And I feel like it kind of reminds me of like my running example. I went from like running only 2 minutes a day, or 2 minutes, like to now I can run over like 6-7 kilometers. And I've been consistent with it over the past year, and I've been having more like greater results. And the same thing applies to business, right? And I feel like in that example, how I've been consistent is I've been resting when I've needed to rest. If I need a rest day, I listen to my body. What does your body tell you? And the same thing, if your body's telling you to slow down, chances are it's probably for a good reason. And for me, I tell myself, okay, I'm going to give myself this day and then get right back at it double, or like, to ready to achieve full force tomorrow, and know that's okay. And, don't give up on everything. Don't give up. Just keep pushing forward and allow yourself to rest.
I feel also like business can also be a distraction to the things that you really should be focusing on. And I feel like that's what I was doing, is I used business and I was like, okay, I need to focus on this. I need to do this. And I wasn't dealing with those other things that I needed to deal with. So then you get to that breaking point, and like you said, you kind of burn out because you're using work as a distraction, but there's all these other things going on, and you're just trying to block and prevent it by focusing on your business. But ultimately, I do feel like it's so important to, again, deal with whatever you need to deal with and then jump right back on. I don't suggest taking a long period of time unless you have a support team that can be there to support and keep the business running until you're ready to come back. But that's why I think it's so important to start recognizing, especially if you're early on in your business, to make sure you have those times where you focus on the things that are bothering you. And that's why mindset is so important. And that's why I do a lot of videos on mindset, because I do it a lot myself, because I've never been a person that often expresses how I'm feeling. I don't show emotions. Like, I know I'm a robot sometimes. I know that. But that's the way I've always been, and I've always been a person to deal with my emotions, and I've also been that person that I would ignore the things that were bothering me because it's just like, well, if I ignore it, then it's not there, and I'll dive into whatever it is I'm working on. But I'm learning as well, like, no, you can't just ignore those things. You have to focus on it. And really, think about even your favorite athlete or writer or actor, whatever. Think about them and think about where they are now and think about the amount of times that they've personally had to struggle and they made that decision to keep moving forward, to keep going, to keep growing. They made those decisions. And that's the thing too, is you need to make that decision. And unfortunately, this is the part where some people lose their drive. They lose their drive because they're not getting the reward or the satisfaction, or they have those other things that are pulling them away. But at the same time, if you want your business to grow, you need to decide to make it a priority. So whether it is incorporating something into your business that adds that love that makes you more passionate about it, or it's that time to take a break and rest and relax, whatever it is, you still need to make your business a number one priority, deal with those things, but also know that you're going to keep moving forward with your business.
So, Chelsea, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if people out there are listening right now and they're saying, you know what, I am ready to give up, what kind of questions should they be telling themselves? Or, kind of walk us through what would you suggest? Like, what can they tell themselves to help them discover either their passion or just help them kind of realize that they shouldn't give up?
Yeah. So I feel like my number one question would be, why do you want to give up? Because I feel like that alone will let you determine, like, if you say, I want to give up because I'm not getting the results I want, or I don't love what I'm doing, or whatever, I feel like that gives you a route to start and that gives you a direction to go in. So for your example, if it's just like, why do you want to give up? I don't love what I'm doing. I feel like I'm feeling lost. I'm feeling like my business isn't exactly what I want it to be. Then that gives you a direction. Okay, so it's not the business itself. It's not you wanting to give up. It's at what figuring out the business and what we need to adjust in order to make that what you want. If it's, I'm not getting the results I want. I'm not making, six digits, 100 grand, $1 million, whatever your number is. I'm not making that a month. Or I feel like I'm doing all this work and I'm not getting anything in return. Then that's also something you need to figure out too, because do you love what you do? If you do, then it's like, okay, well then what can we do and tweak to make that matter or make that happen? Or what do we need to focus on? Do you need to just take care of yourself? Are you feeling like you can't give the energy into your business that you need to be? Are you going through the actions just to go through the actions? Like, what's going on with that? And I feel like once you figure out why you want to give up, that gives you a great baseline to figure out your next move.
Yeah, like that is brilliant. I love that. And to add on to like, if you are passionate about something and then just aren't seeing the results in it, start check. We have like maybe start thinking about different marketing strategies that you can use. Because if you're passionate and the only thing that's stopping you is getting your results, then change up your marketing strategies to achieve the results that you want. And make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube and everything, because we go through, like, I love marketing strategies. That is like, I absolutely love it. So if that's the only barrier that you have, don't let that be your barrier. Don't let that be the reason why you give up, because you're very close. So, but I love that, Chelsea. Like, that's a great idea for like great thing for those that feel like giving up, that don't know what to do, that want to ask themselves those kind of questions. I love that.
I also find this, so you and I started a podcast called Celebrating Success Podcast. And I also find, like, I love that we started that, which it is on Spotify. We post the videos here on YouTube as well. I love that because I feel like that's also something that people forget, is to celebrate their success along the way. So, no, you might not be getting that numerical amount of money coming into your bank account, but what has gone well. And that's why we do have our podcast as well. We talk about our success, no matter how small it is, even if it's not remotely close, even if it doesn't really include our business. I find that a success in my personal life, I correlate with the business, because it's like I couldn't have had this success if I didn't have my business. So that's why we also talk about, our dream life and what's going on in our personal lives, because that definitely corresponds to our business. And I know for myself, I wouldn't be able to be there if we didn't do this. If I stayed in my full-time job, I wouldn't be having these personal successes that I could have had. So if you are wanting to check that out, we're on Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, also here on YouTube. Check that out. But the thing is, don't give up unless you really don't want to run a business. If you're sitting there being like, I tried this, I thought it'd be great, and I don't want to do it, then that's your answer as well. But if you really feel passionate about your business, then find the support system. Find a community that's going to encourage you to keep going. Find those marketing strategies that are going to give you that competitive edge. We have a program too. So if you're feeling like you're doing it all and you're not getting that success, we have a program that will take you so you can get results right away, all the way up till you get the results overnight, which I'm so excited for. Like, I do love that program, and I love everything that we've said in it. So make sure you check all of that out. We are here for you. Don't give up on your business. You can do it. Keep going, keep growing, because that's how you get that success that you desire.